let's paint this adorable penguin using a paint marker. To begin, we need to write our name on one side of our paper with our pencil. This will be the back, and we're going to be painting on the front. After you write your name on one side, let's flip our paper over so we cannot see our name anymore, so that we can paint on the front. Also, you're going to be turning your paper vertical so it's nice and tall. If your paper is turned horizontal like this, it's not the right direction and your penguin will be all squished. So make sure that you turn your paper vertical so it's nice and tall. And we are beginning by finding the very top of our paper. But first, let's practice some circles so that we can get used to these paint markers. This is a paint marker. It is filled with black paint. It has a cap on it, and we are going to use it just like we would use a marker or a pencil. It's a drawing tool, but paint is going to come out. To use the paint marker, we need to shake it just a little bit, not a whole bunch, and then we're going to unscrew the cap, and then you'll see a fuzzy tip. This tip is where the paint comes out. We never want to touch that tip with our fingers. We only want to use that to do the drawing step. So never touch the tip with your fingers. And when you're drawing, we never want to take our marker and mash it down so much that this tip gets all smushed. We want to use gentle drawing hands today. And this paint marker feels a little squishy, but do not squeeze it. Let me say that again. Never squeeze your paint marker. If you do, paint will leak or spill out of the paint marker and make a very big mess on your paper. Before we begin, we're going to do some practice drawing so we can learn how this paint marker works. So I like to find a space on my newspaper way away from my white paper so it doesn't get on my white paper. And I'm going to pick a spot and I'm going to do a practice circle. To use your paint marker, you're going to hold it like a pencil at this end, and then you'll be turning it upside down so that your fuzzy part touches the newspaper. When you're ready, do a practice circle on your newspaper. If the paint doesn't come out, or if it's not dark, it may need to be woken up. So if your paint doesn't come out all the way at first, just draw another circle on top until it comes out, because sometimes they need to be woken up. Very good. After you draw a practice circle, let's draw another one. And now you can feel how this paint marker works. You're using gentle drawing hands, you're not mashing or pushing it down, and you're definitely not squeezing it. Then we're going to color in our circle because we're going to be using it to do some coloring in today. Find one of your circles and just move your marker back and forth, up and down, or side to side to color in your circle the way you would a marker. We're not going to squeeze our marker, so we don't squeeze our paint marker either to make the paint come out. And then do the same on your other circle. We're coloring in our two circles as practice. Now I think we're ready to begin our penguin. So let's find the very top of your paper in the middle. We're not going to start on the left side or the right side. We're going to find the middle, and then we're going to move down very tiny bit, a very tiny space so that you will have lots of room for your whole penguin, okay? So let's draw a circle at the very top so that this will be the top of our penguin's hat, okay? So here's the middle at the top. I'm gonna draw a circle and then stop. I'm not gonna color it in. Go ahead and try it. Today we're going to be following the steps, and we're not going to worry if we mess up or make a mistake because it's a beautiful oops. So please try your best. Keep going no matter what. Other things to remember is our paper stays flat the whole time. We're never going to lift up our paper to show Miss Dalmy or a friend our painting. If you lift up your paper, paint may drip down your page and make a nasty mess. So keep your paper flat at all times like it's taking a nap. Very good. Now the next step is to be drawing the bottom of the hat, and it's going to be part of a triangle. So watch closely. You're going to start on the side of your circle and just draw two short diagonal lines. Don't make them too long because you want to have room for your penguin's body and feet and all the other details. And then we're going to connect the bottom of this triangle shape, except it's going to be longer than a triangle because we want to draw the side of the hat. I like to make it a little curvy, like that. So it's like I'm drawing a smiley face. Very good. Now let's turn this into a bottom part of the hat into a curvy rectangle. So I'm drawing some short, very short vertical lines. And then I'm closing it up at the bottom. Very good. That's our penguin's winter hat. Now let's add some patterns by drawing some vertical lines. Patterns are objects that repeat over and over. And I can't wait to paint these so that we can have a beautiful pattern on our penguin's hat. Very good. Now in the middle of the bottom of the hat, let's draw a crest or a V and color it in. Just the V, not anything else. We're only coloring in the little tiny V. Also remember, we're never going to touch our lines today that we paint because we don't want to get paint on our hands. We're going to let it dry. We're not going to touch the lines. All right, now right under the V, we're going to draw two eyes. We don't want to go way down here because then we won't have a lot of room for our body and our feet and stuff. So we're going to stay pretty close to the bottom of the hat and we're going to draw two circles. These are our penguin's eyes. Now for the painting today, if you can, you're going to make another curved line in your circles. If you can't, that's okay. Or if you accidentally color in the whole eye and make them black, that's okay. If you can, color in one side of your circle by making it black and try to leave the little circle white. That way your penguin's eyes will look shiny and they'll look as if they're looking to the side. But if you can't do that or if it doesn't work out, that's okay. Now it's time for the nose. Right under the eyes, not way down here, okay, but right under those eyes so we have room for the whole body. Let's draw a little nose. We start with a horizontal line and then a V because we're making a triangle. Don't color it in. Please leave it white so that we can color it in with watercolors another time. So awesome. Now we're going to draw the top of the scarf. It's going to look like a smiley face, but it's actually the top of the scarf. Right under the nose, not way down here, okay? Right under that nose. You might want to practice it with your finger first, but don't touch the black lines. We're going to draw a smiley face line. It's going to look like our penguin is smiling right under the nose. Very good. Now, this line is actually going to be turned into a scarf. So to make it a scarf, let's draw diagonal lines on the side, kind of like what we did with the hat. Making my lines even, and then connecting them at the bottom. Very good. Now let's draw the side of the scarf by drawing two curved lines. You don't need to make them very long because you want to have room for the body. Close it up. Now let's add patterns again so that our scarf will be colorful. Make sure that you have a space between each line. It's kind of like you're making little rectangles so that you'll be able to paint them different colors. Now let's add some texture to our scarf by adding some little fringe. Texture is the way a surface feels or the way it looks like it feels. We want to make our scarf look like it's fluffy. Awesome! Now let's do the head. We are going to start at the bottom of our hat and draw a line to the scarf. Hat to scarf. You might want to practice it without touching the lines. Curved line. Start at the hat and draw a curved line to the scarf. And we're going to do the same on the right side, so we'll be using symmetry or symmetrical drawing. A curved line from the hat to the top of the scarf. Very good. Now let's make it look realistic like a real penguin. We're going to be drawing a curved line that copycats the first line. You might want to start your line out here or on the inside. Whatever you think works better. For this one, I think I'm going to start on the inside, and I have a white space. So draw a curved line from your hat to your scarf again that copycats. And then color it in. Don't squeeze or mash it. Just move your marker up and down until you color in just that little stripe. Please don't color in your whole penguin's face. You just want to make one little black stripe. And let's do the same on the other side. I'm going to make mine the same by drawing a curved line on the inside. If yours looks better by drawing your line out here, you may do that. Whatever you think is best. A curved line from the hat to the scarf. And then color in that stripe. Very good. Now it's starting to look like a penguin. I love it. Now let's work on the belly. And we want to have room for the feet if we can, okay? So let's talk about some things. You may want to practice this first. When you draw the belly, it's going to be a big U shape. It's going to be a big U shape, okay? We're not going to go all the way to the bottom of our paper. If we do, we won't have room for the feet. If you make a mistake, don't worry about it. Miss Dowmy will show you how to turn it into a beautiful oops if you don't have room for the feet, okay? But try your best to go slow so that you can have a beautiful penguin drawing. So remember, we're making a U shape. I like to practice with my hand first. And then we're going to kind of decide if we're going to go around our scarf or we might be stopping at the bottom of the scarf, okay? So you can decide what looks best. Now, I think I'm going to start on the right side. So if you think your penguin's belly, the side of the penguin's belly needs to go around the scarf, you can. You might start it underneath the scarf. It's your choice. I think mine will look better on the outside. So I'm putting my paint marker right here. If you need to practice with your finger first, you can. When you're ready, don't go all the way to the bottom, remember. Leave some room for the feet, okay? I like to stop here and just kind of take a breath and decide what I'm doing. And then I'm gonna keep going to make my line longer so I can keep going like this, or I might wanna start at the scarf to connect it, whatever you think is best. But we're drawing a big U shape to make the belly of our penguin. Very good. If you made a mistake or if something is crooked or wobbly, it's all right because penguins come in all different shapes and sizes. Very good. Okay, let's make those stripes on the penguin's belly kind of like we did the head. So I like to start on the inside of the belly because I have a nice big belly. Okay, I think that's going to be best for me. And I'm going to make a copycat line like that. Do that on the left side, please. And then let's color it in. Don't color in the middle of your belly, only color in this new shape that we made because it's a stripe. But our penguin's belly in the middle needs to stay white. Don't squeeze or mash it down. Just move your marker up and down or side to side, like you're coloring. We're almost done. Let's make a copycat line on the other side now. Now, I'm looking at mine and I'm trying to decide if it needs to start here or if it needs to start under the scarf, because maybe my scarf is kind of covering that stripe. So you get to decide where your line starts. Maybe it's under the scarf to the bottom, or maybe it's under the scarf to the bottom. It's your choice. When you're ready, draw that curved line all the way to the bottom. I think mine looked best by doing it under the scarf. And then color it in. I'm gonna have to color in part of my fringe, but that's okay. I can still see my beautiful scarf and a little bit of fringe. Awesome job. Okay, now we're gonna draw the fins, okay? I'm gonna, or the arms. I'm gonna draw one on the left first, and it looks like a curvy triangle. So I like to start with a curved line, and then a curved line to meet the belly. That's it. And then color it in. Now I'm gonna do one on the right side, but first I wanna show you another one. you might want to do one of your fins up, like he's waving. And my other fin was down, okay? So if you want to do that to your right fin, you can make it go down or up. I think I'm going to do this one the same as the first one I did. You might want to do yours up, so take a quick look and decide what direction your fin's going to be facing, and then color it in. Awesome job. Now we're going to work on the feet. If you don't have any room at the bottom of your paper, you might have to do your feet on the side under the fin. So if that happens, that's okay, because it's like your penguin's kicking his foot out, okay? But if you have room, even a little like me, you might have room for the feet, and it's a heart shape, okay? So when you're ready, put your paint marker where you think you're going to have room for the feet. You might want to watch me first, and you might want to practice with your finger first. If you have no more room, draw your foot right next to your fin, and your penguin's foot will just be sticking out or kicking out, okay? Now, here is how we do the feet. It's a sideways heart. You can turn your paper sideways if it helps. Okay, see, I had just enough room to draw a little foot. If your foot is bigger or smaller than mine, that's okay. And then I'm going to do one on this side. Very good. I had an amazing time painting a penguin with you today. I'm so proud of you, boys and girls. When you're finished, put your cap on your paint marker, twist it all the way shut, and let it rest on your newspaper.